Hello, and good evening. Picture this. You're on your way home after a long day of helping others, and in the distance you hear a mighty roar from a lion. Your reaction to the lion might be shock and unsettling, but this was not the reaction of Dr. Harry Wegeforth. Dr. Harry Wegeforth instead looked over to his brother and said, "Wouldn't it be splendid if San Diego had a zoo? I think I'll start one." Through Dr. Harry Wegeforth's hard work in founding the San Diego Zoo, it is now able to make great strides in conservation. Having read a few articles, watched a video, and personal experience with talking to zookeepers, I have a good understanding of Dr. Wegeforth's legacy. Today, I will first explain to you Dr. Harry Wegeforth's hard work in establishing the zoo. Second, I will discuss how the zoo has continued to grow. Lastly, I will talk about the conservation that has been conducted at the San Diego Zoo. Let me first talk about how Dr. Harry Wegeforth turned an abandoned traveling zoo into the world-famous San Diego Zoo. Dr. Harry Wegeforth, a physician and surgeon, was very dedicated to the startup and establishment of the San Diego Zoo. Between working surgeries, he was able to find funding and plan the layout of the San Diego Zoo by working with city officials to designate space in Balboa Park. He also went to local pillars of the community, such as Ellen Boeing Scripps and John Speckles, to ask for financial funding for the establishment of the zoo. He also, in his time, created the American Association of Zoological Parks and Aquariums. This allowed zoo executives to collaborate on a national level and worldwide level as well. In his off time, Dr. Harry Wegeforth also traveled to many zoos locally, nationally, and worldwide. He would do research to learn how to better have enclosures for animals, such as a technique he picked up in Germany, where instead of using steel cages, they used trenches and wires to enclose animals. During this time of travel, he would also buy animals to be brought back to San Diego. One experience Dr. Wegeforth had was when he brought the first elephants to San Diego. He didn't have the ability to transport them in a truck, so he had to ride them from the train station all the way to the San Diego Zoo. I have discussed how Dr. Harry Wegeforth worked hard to establish the zoo and set it up to continue to succeed. I will now talk about my second main point to show how the zoo has continued to grow. Since the zoo's opening, it has continued to grow. One program that has grown is the panda program with China, where pandas were brought to the zoo for breeding. Another expansion was the safari park in Escondido, where efforts have been continued there as well. First, I discussed how Dr. Wegeforth worked hard to establish the San Diego Zoo. Second, how the zoo has continued to grow and expand internationally and nationally. Last, I will talk about the zoo's conservation efforts. Today, the zoo is able to make great strides in animal conservation. A program that the zoo is most notable for is the California Condor program. The California condor was nearly extinct, but due to San Diego's research and resources, it has now brought the California condor out of extinction and out of endangerment. It is now a thriving species in California. Another program the zoo is associated with is the conservation effort of the black rhino and the white rhino. Through efforts of connecting to the program with the black rhino and the white rhino is helped through African preservations where they had rhinos and they were brought over to the safari park to put into a breeding program to help bring the species out of endangerment. So far, they have been very successful in breeding a male black rhino and a female white rhino. Their efforts have been very great and very successful thus far and continue to do so. In conclusion, I first told you about Dr. Harry Wegeforth's hard work in establishing the San Diego Zoo. Secondly, explained how the zoo has continued to grow internationally and nationally. Lastly, I talked about how the zoo has continued to be able to be at the forefront of conservation efforts. Dr. Harry Wegeforth's legacy has allowed us to be innovative in species conservation. I hope by sharing the story of Dr. Harry Wegeforth and the San Diego Zoo, it inspires you to go to the zoo and learn how you can help save endangered species. The future holds many unknowns. So if we apply hard work and to our own passions, who knows? We could have our own zoo. And here is my audience.